A polite young man from the demon clan walked in and said, "Lord Kratos, you are assistant spires, level 10 of Gs. Bow your head." "The preparations for war are complete," he said. Outside on the bloody battlefield, countless monsters were roaring fiercely together. "Blood Prince Aserat, level 534, he shouted excitedly. "Let's end our famine with a great invasion today." Gi, level 931. The tragedy of being born on this barren land. The pain of eating our own kind. Let's create an eternal history. Duke of Mist, level 55. Let's tear apart the humans and crush the fairy clan. That's right, we must tear them apart. General Haknam, level 539. Turn them all into food for us. The fierce roars continued to echo through the space. Kratos shouted loudly, "Listen up, Demon Legion!" All the elite warriors of the demon clan gathered to receive orders. Kratos stood tall, commanding, "I, Kratos, order the entire demon clan." Kratos thought to himself, "This war must be stopped at all costs." Kratos breathes. From now on, the eyes of every warrior seem to be expecting to fight. SIH Asurat were all filled with killing intent. The atmosphere was reaching a climax, but in response, Kratos declared that they would stop all attacks and start farming. After his words, the 4 warriors were stunned and frozen. Disappointment gradually turned to anger. The 4 of them shouted loudly, "That's ridiculous!" Kratos immediately opened his mouth and glared, threatening them. But in his heart, he was terrified. These 4 are really scary. The 4 soldiers immediately fell silent. A sturdy hand suddenly grasped the wall. "If we start this war, the system will notify you that you've started the 20th playthrough." The man's enormous body was indescribable. He was a playable character. Kimchi Veteran, level 990. I became a research student in the agricultural department at Korea University, hoping to become a wealthy farmer. I was too smart, so I quickly became the ace of the department and a top research student. Jang Cheon, you're too smart. Write a thesis for me. This will be very helpful for you. I want you to help me with this project. You're good at this sort of thing. Jang Cheon, go farm the fields. You leaned your head on the chair, looking listless. I had become Jang Cheon's #1 slave. I was dazed, thinking, what kind of life am I living? Why do I do all the work while the professors take all the credit? Jang Cheon stretched and cursed the damn professors. "I'll kill them all. I'll kill them all." My dopamine levels were depleted, and I was about to go crazy. The only way to increase my dopamine was to play games. Jang Cheon picked up the game controller to play a super hard game that was extremely challenging to level up. No player had ever completed this game for the 19th time. I longed for the feeling of achievement so much that I played games without sleeping at all. The first time, the second time, the 10th time. And so I became the first person to complete the game, then Huyet Nguyet for the 19th time. I defeated the demon Jang Cheon in a daze, muttering to myself, and even drooling. I was so happy. I was the strongest in the world. The 20th playthrough will have hellish difficulty. I need to level up before trying it. I'll grind my level. I'm the strongest. Jang Cheon blew his nose and looked at his character's information screen in the game. His character was equipped with level 9990. The maximum level is 999, so I'll stop leveling up. How many years did it take to achieve this? Never mind. Here it is, the 20th time. Do you want to start the 20th playthrough? Jang Cheon. I decisively pressed the yes button, and suddenly the TV screen lit up. Jang Cheon was shocked. What's happening? And then his soul was pulled out of his body. His soul shot straight forward. His soul, Jang Cheon, now, was falling freely. In midair, he opened his eyes wide and cursed silently. Oh, damn it. What the heck is this? Calm down. I'm smart, right? Okay, now I'm blue. This means this is my soul, right? I won't fall and die, right? I think so. He carefully observed his surroundings. It was the Tower of Life. This meant he had entered the game, then Huyet Nguyet. Jang Cheon suddenly realized something. It was the tomb of the Holy Knight. He shouted with joy. As soon as he thought that, Jiang Cheon's soul immediately turned around and rushed in a different direction. What's going on? Where am I going? What the heck? Hey, this can't be right. I said it's not, but now it's the present. Kratos held his head in his hands, feeling helpless. This is driving me crazy. Kratos silently cursed himself. If I hadn't had that stupid thought back then. After seeing the skilled Kim Chi, I became the most powerful character. I'm so stupid, I'm a fool. Yurez was walking leisurely down the hallway when he heard a voice that caught his attention. Kratos must have weakened. The murmurs in the room kept coming out. That's why he's afraid and ordered us to stop our attack. Let's join forces and behead him. We'll share the power of the throne, just like Kratos became king by beheading the previous demon lord. What if he hasn't weakened at all? 2 of the 4 of us will be severely injured or die. Sohai also closed his eyes in agreement. Asarat, if you're willing to be our shield, then we'll try. Asurus was furious. You want to die at my hands first or what? And as for the other side, I don't care. He pouted, thinking he was hungry. Asarat glared at him, interrogating. Okay, if we have evidence that the demon lord has weakened, then what will you do? The 3 of them responded in unison. If that's the case, then we'll kill him. Japhires stood outside, listening to their conversation calmly. Report, the morale of our troops has completely dropped. At the castle, Japhires reported carefully. More and more cases of soldiers attacking and eating each other have been reported. Some have even left the demonic land without reporting. The 4 great demon generals were extremely furious. They said you've weakened, and they're planning to join forces to behead you. Kratos felt a chill run down his spine. If those 4 guys attacked together, he was sure to die. If he showed weakness, he'd also die. He tilted his head, wondering, wait, what about the experienced Kim Chi? Why not merge with it? It's just a corpse, right? So charging straight into the human world might be a better idea? Japhires held up a crystal ball and continued his report. This is the footage of the tomb of the Holy Knight sent by the general. The experienced Kim Chi coldly swung its staff, ignoring the desperate cries of the demon clan. Please stop. Save me! He leaned in close, inserting 2 fingers into the eye socket. Wait! What are you doing? Stop! The miserable scream echoed throughout the room. My eyes, my eyes! The experienced Kim Chi stood there, casting a murderous gaze forward. The experienced Kim Chi stood there, casting a murderous gaze forward. Kratos broke out in a cold sweat, terrified, and thought to himself, that plan won't work. It looks like a crazy person's performance. I don't want to meet that guy. I must stay here by all means. In this situation, either he looked weak or had to surrender, and the 4 great demon generals would kill him. If he charged into the human world, Kim Chi would gouge out his eyes and kill him immediately. Kratos cried out in frustration, Why did I enter this game world? I can't even find happiness anymore. Kratos stood up sternly. The only way is to solve the food problem and calm down the demon clan. Japhires looked at the demon king in confusion. My lord Kratos, where are you going? Kratos replied sternly, I'm going to check out some land for cultivation. Japhires asked doubtfully. Yes? Yes, my lord. Kratos looked back at him with a scowl, Justus lifted his glasses and replied, My lord Kratos, you're so narcissistic and arrogant, and you have no sense of propriety. And yet you say yes so politely. It's terrifying and frightening. Please don't do that. Kratos' face darkened, and he thought to himself, what's wrong with him? Is he trying to provoke me? Does he always play this role? Jeffries had only appeared once before the battle with the Demon King, without any explanation. But that actually made him a fairly famous character. Oh, great saint. The Demon King no longer wants to fight. Please return. But despite that, the Holy Knight swung his attack without hesitation towards Japhires. Jeez fell to the ground, self-blaming. Demon King, please forgive me for being too weak to protect you. This made the players think that he was extremely loyal to the Demon King or truly respected him. Japhires continued to grumble. The mistake this time is unprecedented. I've never seen a Demon King lose the trust of the Demon Clan so much. Kratos gritted his teeth, cursing inwardly. He's really annoying. Jesses took out his notebook and recorded. You want to cultivate on the demon clan's land, my lord? I didn't expect your memory to be as bad as a pigeon's, Kratos shouted angrily. I'm serious. I'm the demon king, you know? Don't be too much. I'll continue if you don't stop. Kratos thought to himself, why isn't he afraid of me at all? The previous demon kings, including yourself, have tried to cultivate on this land before, haven't they? With the extreme temperature differences and the extreme conditions, you must know that nothing can grow on this land. Is that correct? We know this place is called the Land of Death, but Kratos growled with his current ability. Saving this land is possible. Kratos carefully considered, I really hate farming, but first, I need to survive. Kratos bent down, using his hand to scratch the ground, making Jeeps puzzled. Kratos didn't hesitate, stuffing the entire handful of dirt into his mouth. Japhires carefully wrote in his notebook, the demon lord is really strange. He's become a beggar who eats even dirt. Kratos heard this and angrily shouted, What are you writing? Stop it right now, what's that? Jest responded wisely, I'm just doing my job. Recording the demon lord's annals is important. The demon lord's memory must have deteriorated. Kratos frowned, thinking he was troublesome. He spat out the dirt from his mouth. After all, the dirt here definitely didn't have any nutrition. There's not even nitrogen, an essential element for plant growth. Although nitrogen makes up 78% of the atmosphere, plants can't use it themselves because the atoms are bound together by strong triple bonds, making them almost unable to participate in chemical reactions. Therefore, humans have developed the process of nitrogen fixation through chemical techniques, leading to a significant increase in food production. Doing that here? Impossible. There's nothing that can be used as a foundation for farming. Kratos pondered, stroking his chin. That means we have to utilize the natural nitrogen fixation mechanism. Lightning with extremely high voltage oxidizes nitrogen into nitrogen dioxide. Then it dissolves into rainwater and is absorbed into the soil. Recalling the time playing games and the main technique of Demon Lord Kratos. Demon Lord Kratos proudly slashed his palm, causing a stream of red blood to spray into the air. Bloodstrike exploded into thunder and lightning, and humidity were created simultaneously to improve the soil into fertility. Kratos listlessly ordered, Fall back, go! Quickly! He used his sharp nails to scratch his other palm, making it bleed. The bloodstrike trick always makes me feel pain deep in my stomach. Damn it, this crazy demon lord always uses this trick. Is he crazy? It hurts so much. Suddenly, a heavy, sharp energy made him turn his head back, and there were 4 pairs of eyes from the 4 great demon generals staring at Kratos fixedly. He's weakened. He's weakened. Now he's even weaker. Ha ha ha! Their eyes met, and Kratos froze, panicked for a moment. Gestas raised his glasses. You must have weakened by 100%. Kratos thought to himself, he's definitely a killer. His plan is to provoke me and then kill me. Kratos gritted his teeth and scratched his hand again. This is better than dying. I'm here. Kratos quickly merged into the space. The stream of red blood flew up for a moment, and then fell scattered onto the barren ground. Kratos held his hand and groaned. Heavy footsteps suddenly sounded. Demon Lord Kratos. The 4 great demon generals emitted full of killing intent, and asked Han, Does your lordship feel unwell? Kratos sweated with fear. The figure of a young girl stood firmly on the top of a high hill. The young girl, Kim Chi, was lost in thought. Faint, but I have some memories of my past life. I've lived this life more than 10 times, and I've been heading towards that place. I've moved because the summoning of meaning has led me there. Kim Chi, the veteran, looked at his hand, but it had disappeared. Summoning of meaning didn't say anything else. What am I living for now? Kim Chi, the veteran, level 990. He looked gloomily at his empty hands and then, resigned, he turned around and left, leaving everything behind with a cold indifference. Kratos was sweating bullets as he looked at the 4 great devil generals, who were eager to fight. Asura sneered, You know the law of the devils, right? The strongest one is the Devil King. Kratos gritted his teeth and trembled, thinking to himself, they're too scary. Each one of them is strong. I won't even be able to use a single skill. Will I die now? Asuras looked slightly fearful at Kratos. The pressure is really astonishing. The battle hasn't even started, and he's already gathered so much power that his body is shaking. He forced a smile, but Asuras was confident as he provoked, "You can defeat all four of us. Not in your current state." He glanced at the other three, signaling them. Although he looked confident on the surface, he was actually scared. "What's going on?" The looks on their faces seemed to say, "We'll watch you fight and join in if we can." Asuras was sweating profusely and cursing to himself. "You bastards, you're not even—" "Ashamed. We're devils, after all. We're naturally evil," Gestas declared calmly, and turned on the live broadcast screen. According to the long-standing tradition of the devils, both sides would fight to the death without surrender. Kratos and Asuras shouted in unison, "Wait, look at him! He's moving quickly!" Asuras knew he had no way out, so he picked up his weapon and told himself, "Don't worry, I'll win this battle. He's weakened already." Kratos gritted his teeth and thought to himself, "What should I do? What should I do in this situation?" Just now, I tested my strength. Since he's the Devil King, he must be extremely strong. But I'm not invincible. I'm strong, but not to the point of being boastful. Asuras shouted and charged, cutting off Kratos' train of thought. "I've seen this movement before in the game. It could be a stab or a slash." Kratos was shocked and stepped back. "There's no way I can dodge something like that." But somehow Kratos reacted and dodged Asuras' stab. Kratos was also surprised. How did I dodge it? Because his front foot was pointing forward, it meant he was definitely going to stab. The movement was identical to the one in the game. Asuras quickly regained his balance, sliding his foot on the ground to steady himself. He was out of breath. Observe the battle. Did you see Kratos' expression when he dodged that attack? He was about to counterattack and tear your arm off, but he didn't. Just wait and observe a bit more. Asuras continued to attack, but Kratos easily dodged again. He was stunned, thinking to himself, "What's going on?" All of Asuras' movements are identical to what I know. When I first met Asuras, I had to step back. Is it really possible to defeat him? He was watching in silence. He quickly unleashed unannounced attacks with a wide range, but after dying once, 3 times, and 10 times, he sat observing and thinking. I finally defeated him after 128 attempts in 19 plays, and next, I was able to completely turn him into a fool by running and dodging without needing to fight. Asuras continued to charge forward simply, but Kratos swallowed hard. Literally swallowed saliva in his throat. Both sides launched a fierce attack, with no clear winner. Suddenly, the other party swung his sword at Kratos, but he managed to dodge it in time, then smiled wickedly. "No way. His attacks can never touch me." That menacing laughter made the 3 great devil generals shudder. Kratos enjoyed himself while nimbly dodging all of Asurat's attacks. The devil generals saw this and hesitated. He's enjoying himself because he's too strong. He's laughing at Asuras because he's too weak. And delighted with that, Asuras gritted his teeth in anger. "You damn guy." Kratos felt relieved while dodging and thought, "Of course, this doesn't mean I can win against him. But I've realized something important. This world has rules just like in a game." The system appeared, Jiang Che. "You've discovered the basic rules of this world." He looked seriously at the system panel. "Ah, this is the notification box I usually see in stories, right?" The system spoke again. He was also able to dodge enemy attacks with high concentration. Asurat, now enraged, used his tentacles and 2 sharp knives to attack Kratos. But he dodged and counterattacked. As fast as a flash of lightning, it was terrifying. Kratos was taken aback for a moment. This is the targeting used when a special skill appears. This meant that Kratos quickly slashed his fingernail hard on his palm, making blood spurt out. In the bloodstrike space, an electric ball appeared, targeting Asuras and making him cry out in pain. The mighty power made Hat-Ok and So both gasp in shock. Other devil tribes watching the live broadcast cheered excitedly. "That's it! Kratos is amazing!" Kratos' eyes gleamed with killing intent as he looked at Asuras, who was cowering. Asuras was electrified, his whole body smoking. Kratos bit his lip, refusing to accept it. He's still alive after being hit by Bloodstrike? That's a skill that can kill instantly in the damn game. He has a rapid recovery system. He can recover quickly. I didn't expect that. After thinking, Kratos quickly used Blood Strike again to attack Aserat. Aserat's screams made the remaining people shudder. He's attacking. He's at a level where he won't die. But it's still... Kratos thought to himself, exhausted. He won't die. Now what should I do? Your system has torn apart Aserat's clothes, and now he's breathing. What does this series of messages mean? Can you please stop talking like a pervert? A new system has been unlocked. Armor removal has been unlocked. Kratos looked at the system in amazement, wondering what kind of good armor was inside. But there was nothing, just the suit he was wearing. And there was nothing useful now. He carefully considered. He had to take care of that guy first. He wasn't strong enough to kill him, and his recovery ability was very good, so he would probably get back up right away. Kratos suddenly realized, wait a minute, because he wasn't dead yet, so he could still target him, and he could continue to attack with Blood Strike. Kratos bared his teeth in excitement. He could give him a kind of attack that would make him remember forever. Yes, he was the smartest. He smiled complacently. He turned his head to look at the group of demon generals who were trembling. Those people must be very afraid of him. Great, let's test it a bit. As he thought, Kratos quickly shouted, "Hey, Shishi!" Shishi was startled and responded quickly. Asuras was bound and turned red in the face, thinking dark thoughts. He wanted him to be bound to a naked man and cut him. He was trying to humiliate both him and Aserat. And so, Asurat was bound to a pillar. Step 1, prepare the lightning rod. A gentle breeze blew out, and his face showed surprise. Aserat suddenly woke up and shouted loudly, "Aserat the Immortal has recovered. You must have weakened. Do you think you can kill me with Blood Strike?" As soon as he finished speaking, he was hit by Kratos' Blood Strike, which made him numb. This way he could oxidize the nitrogen in the air to create nitric. Kratos immediately turned around and ordered, "Hot Ok, I want you to cover the entire area with bones and make it so thick that even water can't flow." Hot Ok was shocked. What? Hot Ok praised in his heart. Is he trying to make the entire area wet so that the lightning will be more painful? What a creative way to torture. Today I've learned something new. Immediately after, Hot Ok quickly shrunk and expanded into a strange black mist. The black mist gradually formed dense bone droplets. Step 3, spread the fog. Blood Strike was continuously launched. Step 4, continuous attack. Kratos twisted his face in madness and waved his hand to splatter blood. He strained himself and screamed in his heart, "Ah, it hurts so much." Blood and electricity alternately burst out. Bayan and Si were both speechless at the bloody scene. Kratos was so excited that he couldn't control himself. Great, with this method I can improve the soil here with nitrogen, and if I have a bumper harvest, what then? He was overjoyed. The horrific torture continued non-stop. With Kratos' maniacal laughter, this electric torture was a high-paying job. The sun had begun to set in the distance. Amidst the fog, Kratos' hand clenched into a fist. He nodded in satisfaction, thinking, "Good, I'll continue to infuse nitrogen into the soil like this, and then solidify the soil." With this single structure, it wouldn't let in low oxygen, nor would it let water escape. For cultivation, soil with a loose, granular structure is ideal. That's why what he needed to create now was fertilizer. As soon as he thought of it, the Demon King Kos wrinkled his face and ordered, "All of you, bring me fertilizer! Hurry up!" Upon hearing this sentence, the 3 demon generals were all stiff. They shared the same thought. After making him a lightning rod and roasting him, he still wants to smear feces on him? Isn't that too cruel? Extremely cruel? And savage. In the cool morning amidst the forest, a young man was strolling leisurely among the dense trees. Suddenly, a groaning sound made Kim Chi stop in his tracks. "Please save me." He cautiously stepped towards the pitiful cry. "Please save us." "Don't worry, I'll help," Kim Chi asked solicitously. "Are you injured in the leg?" Before the person could react, Kim Chi had already lifted the injured person onto his shoulder. Kim Chi strode off, asking for directions. Although Frontera was bewildered, he still nodded and said, "All right, let's go." Asrahan praised him profusely. "You're really strong." "I'm Envoy JV Asrahan. The person behind us is my servant, Dion Frontera. Asrahan tried to be friendly. Oh, may I know your name, Kimchi? He replied softly. From now on, that's something I want to find out too. At that moment, at the castle of the demon lord Kratos, in the meeting room, the three great demon generals sat in contemplative silence. The gloomy faces made it seem like they were about to defecate right there. How can we just bring feces? Are we going to shit right here? Sugi looked embarrassed, biting his finger. This is ridiculous. It's disgusting. Terrible, Ban said sorrowfully. It's been a while since you've eaten, so you can't defecate. Sugi stood up, slamming the table. Don't talk about my feces, you fool! Hat-Osi spoke seriously. Even if we can defecate, I don't want to provide him with our feces. Let's beat the lower demons and make them shit instead. In a secluded village on the border, cries echoed through the air. Please, please don't do this, I beg of you. A bony demon trembled, crouching down to beg. If everyone looks at me like this, I won't be able to defecate. Please, at least wait outside. That's fine too. Hat Oak stood outside the door, arms crossed behind his back. Why is it taking so long? Huh? The soldier replied, squinting. The others said the same thing, but they couldn't. Before he could finish, Hat Oak coldly stepped inside. So you're saying you can't provide us with it no matter what? The demon stuttered in fear. Fear not, Lord Hat Oak. I've gone without food for a while, so I won't be able to. Hat Oak abruptly grabbed the demon's neck, lifting him up with a growl. The weak demon could only cry out in desperation. Fortunately, Ban grabbed Hat Oak's arm to stop him. He glanced at Ban, asking what's wrong. Ban explained calmly. If you gut him, he'll die. That means there won't be any feces. We need them to defecate so we can get more. Hat Oak nodded in understanding and released the demon. That's clever. I didn't expect it to come from you. The Hat Oak has prominent veins on its surface. If we feed them your flesh, they might be able to digest it. Ban remained calm, his face stern, emitting a fierce aura. The two powerful men suddenly clashed, their fists flying at each other without hesitation. Hey! He's too strong. Just then, Kratos suddenly appeared, shouting, What are you doing? Hat Oak and Ban were shocked, their bodies numb as if electrified. Humans aren't the only ones who can excrete, you know, Kratos explained, holding out his hand. Feces without nutrients are useless. You need to find feces with nutritional value. Japhires glanced at him, asking, Feces? The right ingredients to provide nutrition for the soil, normal fertilizer will be made from wood powder, grass, eggshells, and chicken waste. As for the wood powder and grass, we can use them from the houses we saw earlier. The problem is the eggshells and chicken waste. Kratos suddenly remembered something. Oh, jeeps, bring me the map of your kingdom. Yes, your majesty. Here's the map. Kratos put his hand on the map, looking at it thoughtfully. Just as I predicted, it's identical to the map in the game. Great, really great. That means I can find them once I get to this place. The place where the seagulls reside. In the game, they appear in large numbers. That means the seagulls can digest a lot of nutrients from human waste. And when they defecate and lay eggs there, it will be an incredibly wonderful place. Jeffyrette watched intently. Your Majesty, are you planning to collect seagull waste? Kratos was slightly surprised. Oh, you're quite perceptive, Japhires. Japhires calmly explained. That place is called the Cliff of No Return. It has no footholds, and if you fall, you'll get caught in the rough waves. Kratos frowned. I know that. I think it's because that place is not accessible in the game. Kratos asserted, but I can climb up there. They were currently at the Seagull's Cliff. The three generals had the same thought. What is he thinking? Many people have tried to challenge themselves to catch those seagulls, but they all fell into the sea and died. Kratos turned around and instructed, I'll climb up and throw down a bag containing waste and eggs. Make sure you catch it. Kratos bared his teeth. If this plan succeeds, everyone will enjoy a feast. Ban was lost in thought, recalling past events. The moment he grabbed the weak devil's neck, skin, and bones. When the demon clan was hungry and had nothing to eat, Kratos stepped forward, approaching the cliff. He gazed at the cliff face, lost in thought. How many times have I tried to climb this in the game? I've tried every way to climb this cliff. Before Kratos jumped up with all his might, he had tried 100 times and died countless times in the process. His heels quickly lost contact with the cliff. Everyone was watching Kratos' actions intently, not taking their eyes off him. Kratos jumped towards a tall rock pillar and finally succeeded in the game. Kratos quickly gimmicked his fingernails into the cliff face. Kratos' hands gripped tightly, causing the rock to crumble inward. The generals watched in amazement, not daring to blink. Kratos immediately opened his game inventory. Then he pressed the button to discard all items. Before the generals' eyes, Kratos' naked body was sinking into the cliff face. The generals couldn't believe their eyes. While thinking, Kratos rotated his body. "I need to flip back quickly." "Unbelievable!" Shisha was embarrassed, covering her face and turning away. Kratos quickly pressed the button to equip his items. Now he was hanging in midair between the cliff. This action shocked Shai greatly. Flipping back and forth, naked, and repeating this process was how he climbed up. Kratos continued to strip naked, flip, and then re-equip his clothes, repeating this process, naked, climbing up, and flipping back. Kratos' hand finally touched the high cliff. It's done. He stood majestically on high, full of strength, and then a world where the game system shared a warehouse of equipment and a map that no one could reach. So it turned out to be feasible to combine all these things together. I had tested and proven it to be feasible. Ban watched in amazement. "Kratos, Your Majesty said that Your Majesty would feed us. Ban will go up and help you." Jees was still in shock. "Why did you give us that place?" Before Ban finished speaking, he had already rushed off. Jees was taken aback. "No, don't go." Jees' challenging voice made Kratos turn around to look. At this moment, Ban had jumped into the air and rushed towards the high cliff. "Ban will follow Your Majesty." Kratos shouted a warning. "What are you doing?" Although Ban had reached out to the cliff quickly crumbled. Kratos' hand quickly grasped Ban's hand. Kratos gritted his teeth and strained to pull Ban's hand. Kratos' veins bulged all over his body. He was sweating and thinking to himself, "This guy is too heavy. My hand is about to break." Not waiting anymore. Why should I save this guy? He's one of the 4 devil generals. A threat to me? Wouldn't it be better if he died? I have no reason to help him. Kratos' mind suddenly felt conflicted and indescribable. "Jang Cheon, please help me just this once. The professor won't let me submit my assignment. He's going to keep me as his personal errand boy forever. Please, can't you help me? At least then he will look at my assignment and evaluate it. The professor loves you. You're the best. He will listen to you, okay? Please, he is a junior who always accompanies me. Because I am his first subordinate, the professor might listen to me. But, Jiang Cheon, that's your problem. Just like I set limits for myself, the face of yours in my memory will be..." The smiling face, Kratos screamed in utmost frustration and anger. Kratos screamed in utmost frustration and anger. He strained his body, putting all his strength into his arm, even if his arm was broken. The Demon King Kratos still struggled to pull Ban up. Kratos swung his arm with all his might, throwing Ban up into the air in an instant. Ban's body fell to the ground. Kratos gasped for breath, clutching his aching arm. "Oh my God, it hurts so much." Ban was taken aback. "Your Majesty saved Ban, even if you got hurt. You didn't have to do that." "Why?" Kratos was slightly contemplative when he heard the question from his subordinate. He stood up, serious-faced, and replied. Kratos was slightly contemplative when he heard the question from his subordinate. He stood up, serious-faced, and replied, "Because it wouldn't be as painful as abandoning my subordinate and eventually regretting it if I didn't do it." Ban's facial muscles suddenly twitched, and tears welled up in the corners of his eyes. "This is something I should have done for him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Suddenly, the system panel appeared before Kratos. Even when you hadn't fully adapted to your body. Of the Demon King Kratos, you still used all your strength to save someone, and as a result, you gained the gratitude of Ban, one of the 4 great demon generals. Kratos nodded, looking at the system panel, thinking to himself, "Is this really gratitude?" Among hundreds of achievements, a system has been established that brings happiness to your army and will give you a large amount of points. Kratos found it hard to understand. A large amount? The system congratulates. Kratos was astonished. Looking at the happiness points on the system panel, he knew what this could be used for, to exchange for discounts on ice cream. Not in this world. Ban was crying and wanted to thank someone. Just thinking about it made Kratos smile, excited. "That feeling must be great." Ban thought in horror. His face looked like he would tear him apart. Immediately, if he didn't listen to what Kratos said, because he still owed him a life, Kratos was really 3217, a wicked demon king. He didn't save him out of any noble reasons. Kratos was really a wicked demon king. He didn't save him out of any noble reasons. Kratos stood on a cliff hundreds of meters high, shouting down, "Hey, you guys will crap into this eggshell and then throw it down, got it?" The people below, upon hearing this, were stunned. What? After saying that, Kratos decisively threw the eggshell down, without mercy. The essence of the bird flock spilled out, splashing everywhere onto their faces. He couldn't take it anymore. Kratos was excited, clenching his fists. Now everything will be given to them. Shashi, grind and mix all of that together. What? You want me to do that? You have many hands, do it yourself. So was furious, shouting, "I, the king of the cold, sir, raised my sword to the sky, declaring that my hands were not meant to do such things as mixing crap." Kratos, being cruel, understood, then I'll give you an easier task. He pointed to Thuloi in the distance. You just need to stand still and let the lightning strike you. Easy, right? And so, Shisha gritted her teeth, painfully chopping continuously to mix the bird's crap. Kratos was startled, thinking that Fu Lam was scared to death. This bunch is all hot-headed and foolish. Must be careful. But I am the demon king. I will strive to rise by all means. The second step to making organic fertilizer is to add water. Hat Ok. I want you to fill the air with fog. Hat Ok was puzzled. What? Demon king. The smell will be even worse if the air is more humid. Why should I do this? You refuse to do it, right? Then, like this, can you handle it? Hat Ok also had to scream, flying around in the air to create humidity. To create humidity, Kratos asked softly. Is it humid enough? Ban nodded, holding soil in his hand, responding that after soaking in water, it became softer, just like you said. The third step is to put it in a dry place and cover it with a thin layer of feather cloth. But even doing a little bit took a lot of time. To make enough fertilizer to fill this barren land, there was no other choice but to mobilize the entire demon army. There's something that has been on my mind, but I must complete it now. I will continue to move forward in the name of the Demon King. Night fell, 3422, covering the valley, piercing the sky with light. The gentle moonlight shone down on the leaky house. In the rotten wooden room, a demon was sorrowfully bowing his head before the bed. The little girl on the bed cried out, "Father, he is depressed. What's wrong, Flu?" Flu, weak and feeble. Lying on the bed, please eat me. Flu, father has told you not to say that. The little girl cried out weakly, "I miss mother." He was shocked, opening his eyes wide. The monster was terrifying and strange. It kept crying out, "I'm hungry, I'm hungry." Flu, pitiful, cried out, fell to the ground, frightened by the large mouth of the monster coming down. But at that moment, a woman suddenly appeared and stood in front of Flu, mother of child. As soon as she finished speaking, the monster swallowed Flu's mother whole. Chal was sorrowful. If you're not here, why should father continue to live? Suddenly, a noise startled him. So it was! Demon King Kratos was advancing into the interior with his minions, growling, "You still have the strength to scream? Take him away. Hurry up! Wait, what about Flu? If we leave her like this, the high-ranking demons will eat her." Despite his desperate pleas, Kratos and his minions remained cold and left. "No, Flu, our father still needs many more demons. 20 demons. And we still need 30 more. Kratos' eyes looked coldly at Flu, who was clinging to something desperately. Without any hope left, Kratos recalled the first time he played the game and met Flu, pressing the controller. Taekum, without hesitation, drew his sword and killed Flu. At that time, Flu had the same expression. But still, Kratos still decided to turn away, waving his hand in command. "Stop all cannibalism among you. It's now illegal. Got it?" Flu looked at Kratos with gratitude. "Demon King, I can't believe you're so kind to a low-ranking demon like me. Thank you very much." The system notified that part of Kratos' army felt happy because they got to eat, receiving happiness points for the first time. Kratos frowned at the system notification in front of him, then looked at Flu's happy face. At that moment, her face. Flu might be in great pain, but now she was smiling. Just because I'm the Demon King doesn't mean I'm always tyrannical. Kratos smiled broadly to encourage Flu. You just need to eat and grow up, kid. That creepy smile. He's fattening the kid up to eat her, isn't he? Typical cruel Demon King. In the deepest part of the vast territory of Demon King 7 and the territory is divided into 5 areas, and this place is in the deepest area. It's bone-chillingly cold at night and scorching hot in the morning. This climate is like a highland. In the past, people in the Andes didn't have enough food to eat, so they had to eat poisonous potatoes. Did they all die? Don't you know what kind of creature humans are? They can make the inedible edible. Dak knelt down on one knee and shouted, "Demon King, we've processed the potatoes!" Kratos glanced and ordered, "Good, Ban, crush them." Ban immediately sprang into the air and landed with great force. Ban trampled everything from one place to another. We froze them for 5 nights, then used Ban's meteor stomp on them. After that, we thawed them during the day, which caused the poison in the potatoes to leak out and evaporate. We froze, thawed, crushed, and evaporated them. After repeating this process, we dried and stored them before cooking. Then they became edible potatoes. Kratos' face darkened as he muttered, ordering to gather gardeners to produce fertilizer. Kratos was excited, licking his lips. It's time to make new snacks. They will enjoy eating this, won't they? Kratos crossed his arms, looking at the demons. There aren't many, so each of you can take 2. Ija Fires questioned. There are still many potatoes left. Why don't we make more? Kratos frowned. I don't think there are many left. It's not enough to serve the entire demon army, so we need to plant more potatoes and produce more. Dayak held up a potato and reassured, I told you, the Demon King has changed it, and now it's edible. Flu ate it and was fine. The demon next to him panicked. Fool, look at the Demon King's face. Is that the face of someone who'll give you food? He's waiting for us to eat and then roll around on the ground before dying. Despite this, Dero ignored their gossip and stuffed the potato into his mouth. Are you crazy? The other demons were all watching Dero's expression as he chewed. Dero swallowed with a gulp and then shouted with tears streaming down his face, Long live the Demon King! Long live the Demon King. After the farming group witnessed the first person eating, everyone ate quickly. After they finished eating, everyone focused their gaze on Kratos, thinking the same thing. The Demon King really gave us edible food. All the demons cheered in unison. Long live Kratos! Repeatedly, the demons continued to chant, Long live Kratos! I'll have to correct them later. The system notified that part of the demon army felt happy from eating delicious food, adding 50 happiness points, making the current total 51. Kratos was surprised to see the system notification. A considerable amount of points. I can make myself a bit stronger. Ha ha ha, wonderful! But what will be most beneficial to me? I still don't have any ideas, so I'll just accumulate more points for now. Tell the whole village this. After you're done, say that food can now be grown on this land. We promise that demons who dig up potatoes will get a chance to exchange them for this food to eat. Kratos glanced at Zephyros. He's pretty smart, although he looks a bit troublesome. But he's also been helpful. The loyal demons had dug up potatoes for him. On one hand, they created something edible, and on the other, they were making an effort to turn it into fertilizer. Not 10 steps from here, they quickly obeyed the command and hammered the lightning rod into the ground. Kratos waved his hand and discharged electricity. In the meantime, he'll work hard to produce nitrogen. Now that we have enough fertilizer, it's time to move on to the next step. We need to spread the fertilizer all over this place, but it's too vast. He coldly waved his hand, discharging high-voltage electricity into Aserat. A demon who can work well even without eating? Even if he didn't rest, he could work for a long time. There was no other way, other than waiting for that thing to happen. Kratos sat on the throne and asked again, Are you really requesting more troops? Jeez replied respectfully, Yes, I did. We ordered the regions to stop attacking and conquering new lands, and to provide as many troops as possible for farming. While we had sent messengers to the star regions requesting more people, Kratos thought bitterly that the messengers had probably starved to death before reaching their destination. In the Demon Land, a region of stars, a deadly stone monument. A general was kneeling and reporting, based on the Demon Scouts' reports. that the demon king, Kratos, had actually started farming. It seemed they had managed to produce food. The old man muttered, "Kratos, he did all that because he was afraid of me. Since I became stronger, many demons died. He stopped the war and is reducing the number of starving people to keep me under control." The old man, the greatest Star-Lord, the father of death, Saturn, said, "You took care of all the messengers sent to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th star regions, didn't you?" The general bowed his head. "Yes, the other Star-Lords don't know about the war being stopped and the farming." Satan's voice turned stern. "The demons will starve to death. Only then will they become food and troops for me. So he's cunning." He sneered, and then said, "I'll kill Kratos and become the Demon King, my ally." Phaikamiya looked up and said, "Yes, Lord Saun." The old man gave a sharp order. "I want you to destroy everything Kratos has achieved." Regarding farming, Phaikamiya's eyes gleamed with a green light, as if in approval. In the desolate evening at the Demon King Satos land, Phaikamiya was stealthily walking. Kratos is really vicious. He turned Asuras into a corpse to intimidate others. "Don't worry, Asuras. Lord Sarun will appreciate your arrogance. He'll accept you after killing Kratos. Destroy this land and make it unusable." As soon as they received the order, the ghostly spirits immediately swarmed out across the land. The ghostly spirits looked at each other in confusion and asked, "Lord Phaikamiya, is this the fertilizer the Demon King mentioned?" Phaikamiya laughed maniacally. "Spread it all over the place." "Ha ha ha. They might collect it again to use, so spread it evenly and mix it into the soil so that not a single piece of fertilizer can be seen. Bury it deep underground." Phaikamiya laughed excitedly. "Ha ha!" Asura's face showed a hint of sadness. He recalled the conversation between Kratos and Jeez. "What are we supposed to do?" "The fertilizer needs to be crushed and mixed into the soil. It's a difficult task, so it'll be impossible for the farmers." Phaikamiya and the ghostly spirits danced and shouted in triumph, "You're done, Kratos! Ha ha ha!" Aseroth was helpless. "What are you trying to achieve by doing this?" A new day dawned at the Demon King Kratos' castle. A ghostly spirit sat on a small rock, sighing. "It'll never be done." Other ghostly spirits saw this and got angry. "Hey, over there, don't be lazy." If there's still any land that hasn't been tilled, the Demon King Kratos will turn it into farmland. Number 2718. Today you're working much harder than before. You're always so lazy. Ah, that's true. Number 1341, but I don't know. I just feel proud when I look at all the work we've done. You feel proud, don't you? As if I've done it. The ghostly spirit, number 1441, was taken aback. Confused, he shook his head and smiled. "You're joking." "Ha ha, you idiot." The other ghostly spirits also laughed and joked while tilling the soil. "Today, I'm also an idiot. There's not much left. Haven't we done a great job?" The sky brightened. The heat from the sun immediately scorched the ghostly spirits. "Ah, we lost track of time while working. We're going to die." However, dying like this wasn't so bad. At least they had done something meaningful. The ghostly spirits dissipated into small fragments of soul, floating up into the sky. Phaikamiya held an umbrella to shield himself from the sunlight, tears streaming down his face. He wiped away his tears. "Well done, rest in peace. Now let's see how Kratos reacts." "Ha ha ha!" Tilling the fields took longer than expected, but we also lost that much time. Kratos stood with his arms crossed in front of the pile of potatoes. All these potatoes were in a state of dormancy. Japhires asked curiously, "Dormancy?" Kratos nodded. "Yes, they won't germinate. Even if we plant them, it'll be useless." It was like a potato quietly resting in the ground, and then someone pulled it out. The potato had died due to a shock to its biological rhythm, which had come to a halt. Kratos thought to himself that their dormant period would end sooner if he kept them at around 4 degrees in 2 to 3 weeks, and then suddenly move to a warmer and darker place. I want to imprint her aura on them, but she is currently very angry and plotting something I won't be able to avoid being attacked by both. At the same time, it's better to think of another way to increase the warehouse temperature to around 23 degrees. So I've had the farmer soldiers practice squad training, but they quickly got tired. So that method also failed. Not effective. Kratos pursed his lips in discomfort. Yes, he turned around and walked away, determined to head to the farm. Jafires, I'll do what I can. At least need to infuse nitrogen into the soil. When Kratos arrived at the farm, what he saw was a mess. Kratos couldn't believe his eyes. What was going on? The soil had been completely turned over, and the stench was spreading everywhere. He gritted his teeth, thinking the fields were ready for cultivation. What a miracle! Fiamia was hiding to one side, observing Kratos' expression. Shocked. "Ah, you bastard, I've succeeded in destroying his fields." Ban stood behind Fiamia with a serious face. Ban quickly grabbed him and brought him to Kratos for inspection. He was there, stubbornly holding on. "Let me go," Kratos thought in surprise. "Ah, that's Fiamia, one of the leaders of the Death God's Cliff. He came here on his own. When he heard the summons, why was he here?" Fiamia was taken aback. And before he could answer, he was punched by the Demon King Kratos. Jess was puzzled. He hadn't even answered yet, and he was already punched. Kratos' face darkened. It seemed he was trying to hide something. Beating him up was the most effective way. To deal with this, Fiamia twisted his mouth, praised, "You're indeed the Demon King." But Fiamia won't easily talk. Not so easily. Kratos punched Fiamia's face repeatedly, making him groan in pain. After a while, still couldn't get anything out of him. Kratos was exhausted, his whole body tired. Oh, so tired. The system used HP to buy various stats: physical strength, mental strength, power, intelligence, and magic power were all at 20% HP. Owned was 51, used 50 HP to upgrade physical strength and power. Now it's 30%. After allocating the points, Kratos continued to punch Fiamia's face. "Wait, I'll talk. Actually, I was ordered to sabotage the fields, to make everyone starve." Finally, Sharoon was the one who blocked the aid requests. Kratos thought, "Got it, I understand. He only becomes stronger when there are more hungry demons." Jafires continued. "This is an act of rebellion, but it can also be an opportunity. If you can defeat the Star Master Satan, the demons will complain, and this expedition will be a warning to them." Kratos frowned, thinking, even if that's not the problem, they will still hinder our cultivation. We need a sure way to deal with them. Seriously asking, the problem is how to defeat Sarun. He has the ability to turn his body into a ghost. Even in the game, Saturn moved around everywhere on the Death God's Cliff. It was already a complex map, so the entire game was like a hide-and-seek game with him. If the bugs were too hard to kill because they came out of their nests. Flute was holding a sparrow, looking up at something shining. Flut's eyes met Aserat's, who glared at her threateningly. "What are you looking at?" Aserat glared at her threateningly. "What are you looking at?" Lu scratched her face, embarrassed. "Yes." She bowed her head respectfully. "I heard that thanks to your sacrifice, we now have food. Thank you." Hearing this, Asuras became furious, baring his teeth. "How dare you mock me? I'll kill you, you damn kid!" Lu was frightened and ran away in all directions. "Wait for that, Kratos. As soon as I escape from here, I'll find and kill you," a voice suddenly spoke up. Now everyone together. Asuras glanced sideways when he heard the familiar voice. "Ah, Kratos, Kratos, coming over. So happy, so happy. Congratulations on the second lightning rod in the office. So happy, so happy." Asurasat was taken aback. Now there's a second lightning rod. "So I'm Asurasat, crying tears of joy. I'm finally free. I won't have to be a roasted chicken anymore." The lightning rod Fiamia was placed next to Asurat's lightning rod. Kratos roared and unleashed his blood slash. The warm electric current from the lightning spread to both lightning rods. "Oh, now there are 2 lightning rods now?" "Oh great, electric shock, thrilling. Really a high-paying job." Osa Lu sat stunned, watching Fiamia being electrocuted mercilessly. Through the crystal ball, he burst into tears. "Oh my dear Fiamia." Kratos swung a strong blow towards Fiamia, who was hanging on the cross. He cried out in pain, non-stop. Not stopping there, Kratos continued to unleash attacks on him. Phyca Emia cried out louder and louder. Stop! Stop! Kratos continued to unleash attacks. You damn bastard, stop! Up there was a bird holding a crystal ball in its hand, he thought. That bird is a scout that appears in the game. It's observing me very closely. He gritted his teeth. I'll make you regret disturbing my cultivation. The scene changes. The bright sun shines its dazzling rays on the rugged mountains. Lu, a small girl, is engrossed in holding a small hoe to dig the ground. Asuras, crucified and dazzled, stares intently at the little girl. Lu, despite being a child, has hands covered in scars and various injuries. Her fingernails are even dry and cracked. The Demon King and the 4 great demon generals, along with all the adults, are trying to cultivate, so the child wants to lend a hand. He sneered, Indeed, the lowly and stupid little demon beside me has been tilled by this guy, making it even more useful. Phyca Emia smiled at the little girl. Oh great, I feel rewarded. You can go now. Asurat raised an eyebrow. You think tilling a little soil or cultivating this barren land will make a difference? Even that rotten potato won't sprout. People say if you warm the storage. Flu, upon hearing this, picked up her bag and ran away clumsily. He chuckled. What is it doing? Scene change at the Grand Castle. At the large castle in the middle of the high mountain, Gestas walked, followed by Kratos, who spoke in a low voice. I have some doubts about this plan, my lord. Even if Satu knows it's a trap, will he come to save Phyca Emia? Of course not. Yes. He slightly furrowed his brow. First, we'll send our subordinates to force him out of his advantageous position, and then we'll fight. We'll capture all the invaders. We will eliminate them one by one. Those who resist us. Through the crystal ball held by the bird, Lu can easily observe what's happening over there. He's full of confidence, you fool. You think if you continue to resist my children, I won't do anything to you? Your cursed soul! Go away! Then the souls quickly flew towards Kratos' warehouse. Trample everything. In just a moment, they all easily entered. I knew it, but Kratos had anticipated this. The souls, upon hearing his voice, were startled. I knew the cursed souls would come. Welcome to your own tomb. They saw Kratos' cruel smile and felt hesitant and frightened. He thought to himself, the first time I encountered these omnivores in the game, they were really annoying. It's Eolu's second army. First, the problem is they always gather in groups, and when they come into physical contact with the player, when they attach to the player and quickly age them, a very troublesome monster, capable of copying the power of anyone it touches. Now, there's still a way to defeat them. By attacking with lightning-attributed objects, we can defeat them. He growled, provoking. Who should we roast first? The cursed souls, seeing the faint lightning, quickly tried to escape, as if fleeing a trap. How could it be that easy? No way. The real trap is just beginning. They all rushed towards the warehouse door, trying to escape, but at this moment the door was covered in blood. What's this? Is it blood? Kratos had prepared his blood the night before, and now the technique Kratos is using will be even more powerful. He exuded a fierce aura, his whole body blazing with dazzling light and surrounded by lightning. The lightning followed the bloodstains Kratos had left on the door, twisting at the blood pool, exploding violently, and spreading throughout the warehouse. The golden lightning rolled in like a flood, sucking all the souls into the blood explosion technique, like the sound of a bomb exploding. Kratos shouted loudly, "Now we can strike with physical attacks! Deploy the farmer army!" Immediately after, the farmers, armed with various tools like axes and hoes, charged in. Let's go! The souls, now returned to their original form, looked at them in horror. He thought to himself, although these farmers look scrawny and unimpressive, when they work together, they are an unstoppable force. Charge, brothers! The farmers, full of vigor, quickly took the initiative. He witnessed this scene and thought, what's this? I feel like I'm a cold and outstanding king, leading my army into battle. Maybe I belong to this world, too. Are there still some being electrocuted and running away? Kratos quickly used lightning to attack the remaining souls. I have to finish them off myself. Just then he suddenly realized something. Under the pile of potatoes, F. Lu somehow emerged from within. Kratos was shocked, his eyes wide. What? Since when? Immediately after, a cursed soul rushed towards the little girl. F. Lu, seeing the farmers fighting, became worried. He couldn't help but click his tongue. Those guys. Then now, the only thing left to do is reduce the number of escapees. The most important thing is, what should I do to stop the enemy's attack and save the little girl? He grabbed a potato and threw it straight at it. His mind was in a state of extreme panic. I was so stupid. What was the point of throwing something like that? The girl is going to die. But to his surprise, the potato hit the ghostly figure right on the head. The ghostly body's color changed from blue to red as it wrapped around the potato. Kratos watched this scene with a puzzled expression. The potato fell from its body and landed among the other potatoes below, suddenly sprouting new shoots. While he wasn't paying attention, the other cursed spirits took the opportunity to escape. It was a potato sprout. Kratos' eyes widened in surprise. Thanks to the rapid temperature increase, the potato's biological clock started ticking again. He picked up F. Lu and then smiled eerily. Well done, kid. The girl was terrified. Her face and body turned pale and shaking. Kratos stood on the potato field and shouted loudly, Attention, farmer army! Salu's attack plan has been foiled. It's time to attack them. Where are we? Who am I? Aseroth looked up at the bright sky and sighed. What am I living for? Oh, the sun is beautiful, the source of life. I'm grateful to be facing you. His stomach growled loudly. This is the feeling of hunger. It turns out I'm still craving life. F. Lu held a bowl of small seeds and smiled. But Asurat mentioned the potato sprouts, so everything went smoothly. And we even got a lot of fertilizer. Kratos recruited a bunch of farmer soldiers, and they set out to plant the potato sprouts. Asuras stared at the bowl in the girl's hand, his eyes wide open, and opened his mouth wide. Food. Food. F. Lu quickly understood and said, You're hungry, aren't you? Let me give you some. She threw a small seed towards him, but missed, and it hit him straight in the eye. Oh, my eye, it hurts so much! Asuras screamed crazily. I'll kill you! Sorry again. After being hit in the eye twice. Oh no, it's in my second eye again. Finally, one seed fell into his mouth. Aseroth had never felt so delighted. Delicious. On the other side, the system notified Kratos that a part of his demon army was experiencing extreme happiness, and his happiness points increased by 1, totaling 302. Kratos thought to himself, this time the rewards include a new member, 300 points, plus 1 more person. I wonder who it is. The more HP points, the better. But I need to save them for when we attack Salu. Then he shouted loudly, Farmer soldiers, charge! We pray for a bountiful harvest. They were preparing to attack Salu's location. On the other side of the wooden bridge, 2 ghostly figures were cutting it down with axes. They laughed maniacally. Without a bridge, what are you going to do? But to their surprise, Kratos suddenly jumped from the other side of the bridge. However, as he was about to climb up, his body started to fall. The 2 ghostly figures laughed even harder. Foolish Kratos, you're so stupid! But their smiles were quickly wiped off their faces. Underneath the surface, Kratos was buried under a layer of dirt. The 2 ghostly figures were confused, unsure of what he was doing. Kratos' armor was thrown aside at some point. He looked at them with a sharp gaze and quickly climbed up. His body slipped into the armor that was left behind. Kratos turned his head and looked at the other side of the cliff. He pointed at them, and Japhyres quickly understood his signal and nodded. Kratos charged forward, thinking to himself, according to my intelligent prediction, those ghostly figures must be terrified of potatoes. But what if I charge in alone without any cursed potatoes? Salu, who was inside, knew that Kratos was charging in alone without any cursed potatoes. Charge forward, ghostly figures! Just attack him and we'll win. A group of ghostly figures charged towards Kratos. Using his superior quantum movement, Kratos and his armor separated, his body buried deep in the ground. While his armor moved quickly behind him, his naked body slipped into the layers of dirt. Just catch him and we'll win. The group chased after him but couldn't catch up. How can a demon king move so fast? Ha ha ha! You think you can catch me? Kratos thought to himself, this is the 19th time. I've searched every corner of the map and cleared out every area where they were spotted in the game. Now, I'll gather them all in one place and catch them all at once. Kratos glared at them. I'm not just a demon king, I'm a veteran gamer. Then Japhiris shouted, Sprouts, charge! The peasant army emerged, and from the small holes in the wall, they immediately grabbed potatoes and threw them at the spiritual practitioners. Sprout, sprout, little sprouts. The potatoes merged with the spiritual practitioners. And then the farmer attacked. Japhiris thought to himself, at first I was skeptical, but this time again, the Demon King's words were completely accurate. Earlier, Kratos had instructed him, while we're gathering them up, Japhiris, please lead the peasant soldiers according to this map. He hesitated upon hearing this, looking down at the map, which depicted an ancient, abandoned sewer system. A dead end. A secret passage. Kratos' face turned serious as he thought, after crossing the terrifying abyss of souls, just before reaching the final map. We found it while searching every nook and cranny. Last time, I discovered this hidden path. I wondered what it was for, as the stone door was so elaborately made. Then I thought, there must be another structure here. He swung his sword and struck the door. Immediately after, the door gradually disappeared, revealing a path that led to this place. During the first battle with Salu, I thought, can't we go up there? It turned out that after completing this exploration stage, we could return to that place, where we could obtain the transformation potion, a concoction crystallized from the planting desires of the ancient giants, now deceased. Whoever consumes it can change their form. These guys are getting... Kratos fell silent, recalling the vague images in his memory. Our home, Chion, must be starving. Grandma will definitely feed me a lot tonight. I just have to wait a little longer. Then he had to witness his grandmother being carried into the hospital on a stretcher. Returning to reality, Kratos spoke in a low tone. Anyone who dares to block my path when I just want to eat and live in peace will be dealt with by me, Ban, he called out to the Demon King. Yes, Demon King, you're really amazing. Salu is very strong, and with Ban's support, Kratos glared and said, You, go and move the potatoes. This is my business. I'll handle it. On the other side, Salu was muttering something. Oh, great ice spirit, please guide more souls with your omnipotent cold energy and grant me more troops and strength. Immediately after, Kratos rushed in from outside and struck the old man with a rock. The old man slowly got up. Kratos, how did you know about this place? Kratos growled back. You don't need to know that. Now is the time to eliminate the pests. You're going to die. Salu gnashed his teeth, staring at Kratos. Kratos, you fool! Do you think you can defeat me alone? Huh? You believe that? Then the old man's body curled up. You haven't seen my true power yet. You'll know my power. No, I've seen it. Exactly 19 times before when I played the game as a knight, I chased Saun, who kept running around the Death God's cliff. I always encountered his minions, and the knight eventually eliminated all the monsters in that area. Then he entered this room, where the heart of the ice spirit resided, a terrifying artifact said to be created by an ancient dragon with its own life force. This artifact bound the dead to the world of the living, with piercing coldness through the soul. He used that power to gather more minions. His soul used that power to gather more minions. But before he could do so, I arrived just in time, and the final battle began. That's when I saw his true strength. At this moment, Saelu's body curled up, creating a strong gust of wind. The old man growled, Kratos, you're very strong, and that's why this battle. His body twisted more and more intensely. Then Salu's appearance transformed into a replica of Kratos. This will be my victory. Kratos wasn't surprised at all. He knew he would activate the copy mode and copy all his stats onto his character, maximizing his abilities based on his current stats, with terrifying attack power and almost impossible evasion. Just one glance, and he would be defeated in one hit. I have to be very careful with this old man. But the current version he copied was the still weak Demon King Kos. Kratos smiled, pleased. He's not that strong yet. After he finished copying, he increased his own stats. SALU quickly charged forward, preparing to attack him. But Kratos timely used his HP to increase his HP by 30%, then another 10% 20s, and another 10% for strength, agility, and magic, all increased by 20%, and then another 10%. The system notified him, "You have used 50 HP to upgrade your agility from 20 to 30. Thus, he easily dodged the old man's attack. Then Kratos kicked SALU's stomach with great force, causing him to cry out in pain. But he still raised his fist to continue attacking. But he quickly used 50 HP to upgrade his strength stat from 20% to 30%, and he also raised his fist to fight back, and the two fists collided with each other. The old man felt a sharp pain and quickly withdrew his hand. "It hurts so much! Why didn't you get hurt?" Kratos smiled provocatively. "If you want to farm, you need to use your brain too." Saturn was so angry that he gritted his teeth and cursed loudly. "Damn it!" He continued to exchange HP. You used 50 HP to upgrade your magic stat from 20% to 30%, and you used 50 HP to upgrade your intelligence stat from 20% to 30%. Kratos waved his hand gently, and a bolt of lightning shot towards the old man. SALU couldn't dodge in time. He was struck by lightning and felt numb all over his body. "It hurts so much." After that, his body turned into a puddle of mush and fell to the ground. The old man lay there motionless without any sign of life. Just then the system announced, "You have used HP to upgrade all your stats once. HP is now at 30%, and all other stats, including matcha, agility, and magic, have reached 30%. The task to upgrade your strength level has been completed, and a new skill has been unlocked. Summoning the Throne of the Farming King. Activation condition: 100 HP. A throne belonging to the Farming King, equipped with many sturdy and durable farming tools. Kratos read the description and thought, "This is exactly what I need. Some new tools." "Is that it?" he replied expressionlessly. "Your second transformation is quite weak." But he couldn't underestimate the old man. Just as he finished speaking, the old man's body transformed into a giant dragon. "This is my true power, ancient dragon." Kratos was taken aback. Oh, it's even more impressive up close. The power, attack, and vitality are unbelievable. He's really a mid-tier boss. But he smiled. Ban kicked the door open. "You brought a team of farmers with you. You didn't know what was coming, did you?" SALE hadn't even lasted a few seconds before he started sweating. "Wait, let's talk about this. There must be a catch." The team of farmers charged forward, armed with various farming tools, and attacked them. "You dare to disturb our farmland? Die!" The old man begged for mercy. Kratos thought to himself, "I really want to have a fair fight with him, but he's too arrogant. Killing him with my own hands is the right decision. I wonder why he didn't surrender even after being beaten like that. Maybe if I attack more cleverly, he'll give up faster." Then, he activated the new skill, Summoning the Throne of the Farming King. A beam of blue light suddenly shone down into the room, and a chair made of intricately carved wood descended from the sky. The chair landed heavily on the ground, causing the floor to crack and a cloud of dust to rise. Kratos was taken aback, huh? The chair was so heavy that it created a depression in the ground. The farmers cheered, "This is our true demon king." Not only did he defeat that half-dead thing, but he also delivered the final blow. So brutal, so savage. This is what a true demon king looks like. "We lowly creatures could never do such a thing. Long live Kratos! Long live Kratos!" Kratos couldn't help but cheer along with them. But he thought to himself, "I didn't mean to do that." At the same time, in the fields, Famia and Asuras were still hanging in the air. Famia suddenly stirred, and his soul escaped from his body. How scary! "I'm reincarnating." All the fields had been plowed, and the potatoes were growing beautifully without any signs of pests or diseases. The crops have been taken care of. Now it's time to plant the potatoes. The crowd was filled with enthusiasm. Kratos furrowed his brow and turned around. The system notified him, the Death God's Cliff, SALY, has been defeated 20 times, including the 19 times before. This is a total of 20 times. A hidden event has been triggered. The reward chest slowly opened. A chill spread throughout the room, and the true power that had been locked away in the heart of the ice elemental began to awaken. The heart split into two halves, and the cold air grew stronger. Kratos approached it and asked, "What is this?" A small dragon slowly emerged from within. The little dragon looked at Kratos with wide eyes. It smiled and let out a soft cry. "Oh-ay!" Kratos, with his robust physique, slowly walked towards it. The little dragon looked at him in confusion. He reached out to pick it up. The little dragon furrowed its brow and cried out, "I was born in darkness, but I've met you now." Kratos smiled strangely and said, "You're so cute." The other farmer shouted frantically, "Eat it! Munch, munch!" The little dragon was frightened and trembled. "Father, save me!" After leaving the tower, outside, the other civilians were already waiting for them there. "Father, the farming team is back. Look, there are many potato sprouts growing. It's wonderful. Everyone did a great job." Deerrock ran to hug Flu tightly. The others were also happy to be reunited with their families. The little dragon looked at them with wide eyes. It raised its head to look at Kratos, but was immediately intimidated by his frightening smile. "Oh, Father looks so scary." Scene transition. At the Demon King's palace. The little dragon trembled and hid in a corner, peeking back cautiously. Kratos was sitting on a chair, his gaze still fixed on it, exuding an aura of fear. The little dragon quickly turned around. They were waiting for it to grow up to eat it. But in reality, Kratos was wondering what to feed it. He had heard that dragon cubs eat refined precious stones, but there weren't any precious stones here, just piles of rusty metal. Kratos felt a headache coming on. Of course, to cultivate the land, one must mound the soil between the furrows or on the edges of the beds. These mounded ridges certainly make it easier for crops to drain water and prevent waterlogging. But there were too many stones on this land. As a result, it was also difficult for the crops to be tilled. The farmers tiredly exclaimed, "We're doomed. No matter how much we dig, we can't get rid of all these stones. There's just too many of them." Kratos didn't pay attention to the little dragon's trembling body. This wasn't a field, but a stony land. At this rate, it would take a lifetime to clear all the stones. If they mobilized this many people every day, the stored food for rewards would be depleted too quickly. Even if other lords sent additional reinforcements, it wouldn't solve this problem. How frustrating! Is there any other way? He furrowed his brows, wishing he could summon a beast of burden like the protagonists in other stories. If only there was a dragon or something that could clear this pile of stones for him. It was then that Kratos noticed little Flute beside him, diligently tilling the soil. Although she was still very young, Flute was always trying her best to help others. The little girl was sweating profusely. He silently stared at the little girl for a moment. Complaining was enough. They had to find a way, no matter the cost. Agriculture was a task that always presented unexpected problems. Just then, shouts suddenly erupted. A tornado was coming. A massive tornado was slowly approaching them, getting closer and more dangerous by the second. Kratos gritted his teeth, thinking, "Damn it, I forgot about this." The windblade tornadoes that randomly appeared and swept across this vast desert. If caught in one, you would be torn to pieces and die instantly. He quickly shouted, "Evacuate! Hide behind the rocks! Get into the shaded areas! Move, move, move!" Everyone used all their strength to run to the shelters. Kratos followed behind, cursing. It was still far away, but the wind pressure was already this strong. The pressure he felt in the game was nothing compared to this. Natural disasters were the biggest enemies of agriculture. But just then, Flu suddenly ran against the flow of people. He furrowed his brows, watching as Flu ran towards Asuras, who was still tied up. Asuras, seeing this, quickly rushed out to stop Flu. He collapsed to the ground. "Again, it's that little girl. Too dangerous. Run faster." Kratos handed the little dragon to him, then immediately ran after the little girl to protect her. "Don't follow me. I'll save the child. If you go in, you'll lose your life." He didn't care and ran with all his might. But they couldn't afford to lose the lightning rod or the valuable labor. Agriculture had never been a leisurely activity of picking pears and apples during breaks. Asuras saw Flu and frowned, shouting, "What are you doing? Get out of here! Scram!" But the little girl still tried her best to lift the pillar. Agriculture was a matter of survival in hard times, and a battlefield that needed to be overcome. He fell to the ground with a thud, but the tornado was now right upon them, causing small wounds to appear on Kratos's face. Float wasn't much better off, crying out in pain, but she still wanted to untie Asuras. He gritted his teeth, saying, "This knot can even restrain the 4 great heavenly kings, you fool. How can you untie it? Get out of here!" Kratos picked up the little girl in one arm and hoisted the pillar-binding Asuras onto his shoulder with the other. Father isn't that strong either. More and more wounds appeared on his face, but he still strained himself to run, carrying 2 heavy burdens. No matter how strong he was, he couldn't avoid exhaustion. He's too strong. He's incredibly strong. The tornado swept away everything with its terrifying wind power. No matter how fast Kratos ran, he couldn't compare to the speed of the tornado. Eventually, he couldn't run anymore. Kratos collapsed to the ground, having risked his life to save others. The little dragon quickly broke free from Diok's grasp. "My father is a kind creature." The little dragon quickly flew to Kratos. It took a deep breath and then spat out a thin layer of ice, which visibly slowed down the tornado's movement. The little dragon continued to spit, forming a shield. "Oh, it's wonderful." Kratos frowned, trying to force himself to watch the weakening tornado. It was the cold that weakened the tornado. The little dragon continued to spit out icy air, but this was a bit too much for it. This was a bit too much for a young dragon like that. The swirling tornado continued to move, sweeping away everything in its path. After that, Ban, Dirok, Jeeps, and the others, each carrying someone, went to the Demon King's mansion. On the cliff wall, in a room with no sunlight, Kratos lay unconscious on the bed, sleeping. The sound of footsteps softly echoed through the quiet mansion. Shisha and Hat Ok slowly climbed the stairs. He glared and said, "Now that the Demon King has fallen, we'll behead him." Shishi continued, "And after we take down those fools, Ban and Asuras, one of us will become the Demon King." Kratos' room door creaked open. The 2 of them stepped inside together. Just as they were about to attack, they suddenly froze. Kratos was staring at them with wide eyes, his pupils bloodshot, and his mouth open. Both of them trembled, not daring to act. Damn it, he knew we were coming and was waiting for us with his eyes open. But this is our only chance. We must kill him. Come on, let's attack him. Slash? Just then, Ban and Asuras' voices were heard. "What are you 2 doing?" Ban whispered. "The Demon King is sleeping. Don't wake him up." "Of course, it's the Demon King." Ban continued to threaten, "If you dare to wake him up, I won't let you off." Hat? Oak frowned, looking at him. "You big fool, you're actually on the side of that madman who wants to farm?" Asurat smiled in response. "Not exactly. I just owe him a favor, so I'm paying it back. Next time, I can be on your side too." And he spoke in a deep voice. "Don't you think that just planting 1 potato has caused so much trouble? Don't you see that farming will fail, and everyone will starve?" He looked pitiful. He put on a serious face. "If we don't want to starve to death, we have to risk our lives." Hat-Ok heard this and said, "You will regret this, you fools." After that, the 2 of them slowly left the room. Just then, Kratos' voice was heard. He called out softly, "The Demon King has woken up." He looked around in confusion. "Asu Raz," he sneered. Didn't you hear me? I'm not taking sides. I'm just paying back my debt. That's all." Before he could finish, Kratos interrupted. "What's with this lightning rod wandering around and talking like that?" Asuras was knocked out by a sedative. He didn't understand Kratos' intention. Immediately, a bright flash of lightning surrounded the mansion, and a heart-wrenching scream echoed. Ban carried the body of Asuras, which was smoking, and Kratos was full of energy, with no time to waste. The others continued to pick up stones. Ban responded, "We're almost out of stones, sir." Japhires was tilling the soil. Huh? Kratos was taken aback, huh? Before him, the farmers were working hard under the scorching sun, the harsh weather. He called out softly, "Hey, Japhires." He turned around and said, "Has the Demon King woken up? Why did you get rid of all the stones?" Japhires pointed ahead. "The stones are over there, not far away." Not far away, the little dragon was flying in the air. Its mouth was full of stones. The little dragon quickly swallowed them. It thought to itself, my belly is too small, so I couldn't stop the tornado. I'll just eat a lot and grow up quickly. Down below, at this moment, it flew into his arms. T-Bong, he thought, you're so cute. He thought to himself, sword intent doesn't appear often, and it needs time to grow. T-Bong can observe from above and shoot cold air to stop it. Although it's a bit troublesome, there's no weather forecast here. The field was almost ready. It was time to deal with the potatoes. Jeez stood beside him and asked softly, the supply of reward fertilizer is running out. Should we make more? No, it's not necessary. The first enemy of farming is natural disaster. The second is financial pressure. These are the walls we need to overcome. Scene transition. In the mansion, in a room, Soji was sitting in front of a mirror, slowly removing the hat from her head. She sighed in relief. The hat was removed, revealing a beautiful face with hair outside in the field and inside the house for several days. But the stench still didn't disappear. Just then there was a knock at the door. Shisha wanted to talk to you for a bit. She heard the voice and frowned, thinking, huh? The Demon King has never come to my room before, but still responded, what's the matter? I have nothing to say to you. I really need you. Please open the door. She couldn't help but get angry. Don't say things that can cause misunderstandings. He immediately said, not seeing each other's faces will easily cause misunderstandings. Please leave. I don't want to talk to you. The two of them were talking at cross purposes. Finally, Shishu shouted angrily, I've already said I have nothing to say. Unexpectedly, as she turned around, she saw Kratos with his bare chest, about to walk through the door. She was so frightened that she screamed, oh my goodness! Unbelievable! Have you gone mad, sir? How dare you barge into a lady's room like that? Kratos didn't respond, but instead suddenly knelt down before her. Shishi furrowed her brow, not understanding why he was doing this. What are you doing, sir? He spoke in a low voice. Shishi, without you, I can do nothing. She looked at him in confusion. His face slowly turned red afterwards. At this moment, Kratos was thinking that he was willing to kneel down to save costs. Now, I need your sharp and precise sword. Shishi's face turned red with embarrassment, and she stuttered. She couldn't form words for a long time. If you've said so, sir, then I'll listen to what it's about. In her heart, she thought, why is he suddenly acting like this? It's unbelievable. Has he really gone mad? Unexpectedly, a few minutes later, Shishi, with a combat-ready stance, stood before a pile of potatoes alongside Kratos. He furrowed his brow and said, cut the potatoes for me. I need you to cut them accurately in half, stacked up, because you have quite skilled hands, and do everything easily. Huh? So angry, so angry.